What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kyle, welcome back to that, and today we have another tech related video for you guys. And as you've already seen the title of this video, I'll be talking about bottlenecking and what it is. So, first of all, I recently did a review on this graphics card, and I will be using that as my test subject for this video. And also the CPU in my computer, which is a dual-core Intel i5 650 running at 3.2 gigahertz. So, first of all, let's just go over the basics of bottlenecking and what it actually is. Now, I guess the first step to knowing what bottlenecking is just a simple explanation where one component of your computer stops the other stops the other component of the computer from going to its full power because it requires too much energy, say, from that component to give it to the component. So a really good example of this is most likely, nearly all the time, bottlenecking is referred to for your GPU, which is happening in my computer right now. So basically what happens is the CPU can't cope with the power of your GPU and decides to just bottleneck its performance and doesn't let it go any further. So it stops that performance from getting out of hand, basically. And that then leads to frame drops and everything like that. So if you have a pretty good card, even just a mid-range card like this one, but you have a CPU from quite a few years ago, say maybe first generation like mine is, or even second generation sometimes can bottleneck, depending on what number and core it is and stuff like that. But yeah, that is what bottlenecking is in a nutshell. Now, I will be using two sets of FPS here. One of them will be from my system, completely, my system, and the second one will be from a video on YouTube where there are a lot of what's that in the background? That's Overwatch. Where there are a lot of reviews and benchmarks on this card. So I will be putting the link to that video in the description, just to say, here is the person that did it, and yeah, go look at their video, because I'm actually sort of using their content for this. But other than that, let's go on to the benchmarks. So guys, the benchmark results are in, and I'm here now to read these off for you. So the YouTube video I went with was Paul's Hardware. Yep, that's the guy. He did a review on the 1050 Ti, I think it was about a year ago now, and I used the results from his video there, so I'll have that link in the description for you guys. But let's get on to the first benchmark of GTA 5. This was at medium-high settings on both the machines, and Paul got an average of 61.9 and a 7.6 minimum using the in-game benchmark, and using the in-game benchmark on my system, I got a minimum of 25 and a maximum of 70 and an average of 41. So the next game is Overwatch. Now this was an Ultra on Paul's system, and it got an average of 102.8 and a minimum of 83. But for me, I was running it on medium, and I got an average of 81.05, minimum 45, and a maximum of 104. Next game up, and the last game, is CSGO at the maximum settings. Now on Paul's system, you could see an average of 190 to 220 FPS with a minimum of 180, but on mine it was a lot more fluctuative, with an average of 81, a minimum of sorry, that's the wrong one, an average of 67.633, minimum of 31, and a maximum of 197. So as you guys can see from those benchmark results, bottlenecking really does affect the system depending on how bad it is. So obviously there was a huge difference between the settings and the FPS as well. So on something like Overwatch Medium, I got those, but on Ultra, I probably would still get those because of the fact that bottlenecking, like, makes your frame rate the same on no matter what, like, settings you go on for quite a few games. If it's graphically intensive, or just both of them are just, or the game, sorry, is just both of them, you know, they need to be good, it will most likely just limit the frame rate no matter what settings you go on. So on Overwatch, if I'm on Epic, I will get lower FPS because that is a properly, you know, advanced setting. If I'm on Ultra, I'll get nearly the same FPS. I'm on High, I get like exactly the same FPS. The only difference for me is that I get more stuttering the higher up I go, which is a tiny bit strange, but I don't know. I think it's pretty much all down to the bottlenecking. But yeah, those are the results, and as you can see, bottlenecking is quite bad, depending on what CPU you've got. So what I would recommend for you guys to do, if you're worried about bottlenecking, I would say go out and buy the graphics card you want. Just make sure quite soon after to upgrade your CPU. And you might be saying, oh, that's a bit counterproductive. Now just make sure you have a CPU which isn't old, and make sure it's only maybe a few years old, you know, maybe like mine's a first generation i5, it still can compete with today's mid-range stuff, maybe, I'm not too sure, but it can't hold up this graphics card here, and this is known to be a pretty low-end entry graphics card. So if you go for something like the 1070 to 1060 and you have my CPU, you won't be getting any of the desired performance out of it, and it will just have the same performance. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. This has been my second tech video on the channel. If you want to see more tech videos, please leave a comment down below, and obviously more videos will be coming soon. Anyway guys, it's PC Bottlenecking here. Thanks for watching, and peace out.